Welcome to FootballGameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 13 preview between the Arizona Cardinals and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Cardinals. This week versus the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe the Arizona Cardinals can have a big play opportunity off of play action. I think what they do well, they run the stretch, they run the outside zone, they run the inside zone very well. And I think if they are able to run the football versus Philadelphia, the play action pass could yield big time results. I'm going to show you one play they can utilize off their inside zone. So we're going to take the zone step here. Carson Palmer fakes the inside zone, drops straight back. We have double tight end sets. And what we're going to do, pre-snap, we're going to bring Larry Fitzgerald in motion. And we're going to snap the football once he gets halfway in between the hash marks, the numbers, the hash marks and where the tight end is aligned. We're going to snap the ball, and he's running straight across the field in the middle of the field because we're sending the tight end out, faking that zone step, going up, going to the out. We're going to have this tight end block backside, everyone else taking their zone step protection, blocking as if it was zone. We're going to bring this wide receiver across the middle of the field, and as we're faking, Mendenhall or Ellington is going to fake the handoff, come up through the line, and come over. So now you see where we've created some layers. We have, let's say you have a backer here. Now he's going to be confused. You're going to draw him out of the middle of the field. Why? Because you have the running back going out in the flat. And you also have two crossers, which could confuse the safeties. They got to be back here or get these cornerbacks caught up in the rub. That's how you create big plays deep down the field. And as long as Carson Palmer has time, he can hit one of these big plays. And I will take my chances with Larry Fitzgerald running across the formation any day of the week. This is the guy that when he's covered, you can still throw him the football, and you're essentially clearing out space for him with this backside receiver going across the formation as well. So I think that's how, if they're able to run the football effectively versus Philadelphia, they can have big play opportunities, many big play opportunities in the passing game off of play action, and this is just an example of one of them. The Philadelphia Eagles can create a big play opportunity in the passing game themselves by utilizing the over-aggressiveness of the Cardinals defense against them by going to the line of scrimmage with two plays disguised as one. And it gives the quarterback Nick Foles options on where he wants to go with the football depending on the defense and how well they play it. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. The initial play is a quick screen to LaShawn McCoy. You want to get him up and down right here, catch the screen, and perhaps make one guy miss. He's excellent with that. But let's show you the rest of the play so you can see what I'm talking about, giving Nick Foles options. So what we're going to do here, obviously the receiver's job is to walk up and block that corner, but he has to continue to show as if he's running the route because, again, it sets up something later on if the defense or the coverage dictates it. So what we're going to have on the backside, we're going to have the inside receiver run a flag trying to draw this free safety out. We're going to run a sit route where the outside receiver is going to come in and sit in between the backer and the last man, the end man on the line of scrimmage, giving Nick Foles a built-in hot read. But this is where the action is going to take place. Because we've ran the flag route to try to pull this free safety out, and now we have the quick screen, what we're going to do with the tight end, we're going to work him up the middle of the field, taking an inside release, getting downfield, down the middle. That's going to put this strong safety in the bind because what we have here, again, to carry out the full screen motion, tackle and guard going to show and then come out to lead LaShawn McCoy. So now you have two offensive linemen taking that step back and going around, leading him to hopefully run the daylight. So here's the play. Here's what Nick Foles has to see. If he sees where no one is covering this tight end or a linebacker has his back turned and running with him and the safety is trying to attack the quick screen to jump the play or guess the play, then you go to the tight end. If everything stays its course as it's designed and you see the backer maybe try to get a bump and you see the strong safety kind of wait, then you could go ahead on and hit this quick screen to LaShawn McCoy with two blockers in front, and that way they can have some success. But Nick Foles has the option out of empty, reading the backer on the tight end or the strong safety on the tight end, and you can take either the quick screen to LaShawn McCoy or the big play downfield to your tight end. So again, a two-way go could yield a big play opportunity for the Eagles this week versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ballgame. For Arizona, they're going to have to play big, and that's more with double tight end formations, mostly ace, using Larry Fitzgerald and Michael Floyd on the outside and playing above the rim. So I think if they can play big, they can have success. And now look at the big matchup on the inside between nose tackle Dan Williams and center of the Eagles, Jason Kelce. That's the biggest battle that has to be won in order to slow down the Eagles offense. Williams has to win that battle more often than not throughout the course of this ball game. And the Cardinals want to play the piano on the inside versus that pressure that the Eagles love to bring down at A and B gap. Keeping the interior pressure out of the face of Carson Palmer is going to be key for offensive success this week versus Philly. And for the Eagles in this ball game, both Raleigh Cooper and Jason Avant must win their battles on the outside. I'm pretty sure the Cardinals will shadow Jackson with Peterson, so the other wide receivers have to do their part and make plays consistently. And you have to look for the creativity in the running game. They have to be able to get some type of running game going versus one of the league's best run defenses, using tight ends as extra blockers, using Deshaun Jackson on end arounds. They have to find ways to move the football on the ground to help themselves out offensively. And the Eagles' triangle on defense has to excel. That's your linebackers and your safeties over the middle of the field. They have to force Carson Palmer to go down the sideline. I think that's where the Eagles can have the advantage. They can wall off those wide receivers and use the sideline as an extra defender. And here are some in-game adjustments you want to look out for in this ball game. For the Cardinals, Tyrann Mathieu's usage. Will he be utilized mostly as a flat defender or a dog blitzer off the slot, trying to either force a quick throw or flush Nick Foles off the spot? And the multiplicity in the defensive fronts is what I'm going to be looking out for as well. The Cardinals have unique personnel on defense where you may see a 4-3 look, 46, a 5-2, maybe a traditional 50 look, and I believe it's because they trust their defensive backs, and that's both corners as well as safeties, to match up one-on-one with the Eagles wide receivers and tight ends. So it'll be interesting to watch to see if they go multiple with their fronts to be in better position to stop the run and throw off the timing of the passing game. And creativity with special teams. Will the Cardinals get creative in the special teams department to generate a big return? Mostly on punt return with Patrick Peterson and Tyrann Mathieu, as both guys are excellent in the open field. And for the Eagles, I look at both Brent Selleck and Zach Ertz, both tight ends, with heavy emphasis on the outside. It'll be key to see how quickly both tight ends of the Eagles are worked into the offense. Both guys will play huge roles in the running game, but in order for this Eagles offense to balance the field, they're going to have to create problems for the Cardinals defense in the passing game. And you also want to watch the chess match between defensive coordinator Billy Davis and offensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals, Harold Goodwin, as well as quarterback Carson Palmer. The beauty about pressuring out of the 3-4 defense is that you don't know where that fourth or fifth guy is coming from, and it's that half a second of hesitance that could generate a big play defensively. And you have to get Deshaun Jackson involved in this ballgame very early, whether it's traditional as a receiver, both deep and short, or unconventional as a runner. Either way, your best playmakers on offense has to touch the football. I believe the X factor for the Cardinals will be their outside linebackers and how well they're able to hold their own versus the running game. They have to seal the edge. They have to be able to get pressure. They have to do a lot this week in order to knock off the Philadelphia Eagles. So the outside linebackers, in my opinion, will play the biggest role for that defense. And the X factor for the Eagles will be that running game. If they're able to run the football with effectiveness versus this very tough run defense in Arizona, the Eagles can walk away with this ball game because that's going to give them the balance to operate off play action. That's going to expand the field. That's going to open up that offense. So running the football will be key this week in order for the Eagles to have success. I like the Cardinals in this ballgame. You look at the element of their offense that they can have success versus Philadelphia, and it's their vertical passing game. They push the ball downfield very well with Larry Fitzgerald and Michael Floyd, and I think they'll also incorporate the tight end. So I think their passing game will be the reason why they knock off Philadelphia. So I'm taking the Cardinals to win this one on the road. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Cardinal fan forums and Eagle fan forums for always showing football game plan support.